2D shapes are flat. They have 2 dimensions. That means we can measure 2 things. We can measure how long it is, and we can measure how high the shape is. 3D shapes measure 3 things. 3D shapes measure how long the shape is, how high the shape is, and how far back the shape goes into space. 3D shapes are not flat. They pop up. let's color in our forms or our 3D shapes. We're going to use color mixing. The first one that we're going to color in is red plus yellow. Red and yellow equals orange. Take a red crayon or a red colored pencil and lightly color the bottom of one of your bottles. I like to color it kind of in a U shape. That's going to allow me to blend in a little bit. Then take a yellow crayon and I'm going to follow that same pattern that I just had. And I need to go up to my liquid. So let me color the whole way up to where my oval stops. And where these two colors meet, they're going to make orange. So I'm going to go over top of the red a little bit. And where those two colors mix, you can see it kind of makes the color orange. Red and yellow makes orange. You could also take an orange crayon if you have one and color over the place where those two colors meet. Red and yellow makes orange. In our next bottle, we're going to mix red and blue to make purple. Take a red crayon, or you could start with blue. It doesn't matter, either one. I'm going to start with red. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color in the bottom of my beaker, or my bottle. I'm going to kind of make a U shape. Then I'm going to take a blue crayon and I'm going to color in up to the oval. And where these two colors meet, right here, I'm going to overlap. So you can kind of see it's starting to make like a purpley color. Now, if you have a purple crayon, take that purple crayon and I want you to go back over where those two colors overlap or where they meet. Red and blue makes purple. In our last bottle, we are going to mix blue and yellow to make green. So I'm going to start with my blue crayon. You could start with your yellow. It doesn't matter. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to start with the yellow because it'll be easier to color over top of with the blue. So starting with the yellow, I'm going to start at the bottom of my bottle. Trying to fill in those white spaces the best that I can. And I'm going to make a U shape. Now I'm going to take my blue crayon and I'm going to fill in the rest of this space up to my oval. And I'm kind of just pressing a little bit lighter. Now, where these two meet, I'm going to overlap. So I'm going to overlap or color slightly on top of the yellow with my blue crayon. And you can kind of see that it's mixing to make green. If you have a green crayon, you can go back in that area where the two meet and you can overlap the green to show that yellow and blue makes green. Let's mix some colors. So the first color that we're going to make is orange. We're going to take the two primary colors, red and yellow, and make orange. So first I'm going to find a yellow marker. I'm going to go to the bottom of my first beaker. And I'm going to color in about half. Of the way up, and I'm kind of making a U shape as I go, just to kind of blend. Next, I'm going to take a red marker, and I'm going to fill in the rest of the space up to this oval. So now we're going to make orange right here. So we're going to take a paintbrush and a water can, and I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the water, and I'm going to spread out the red, and I'm going to drag it down into the yellow. Might need to get some more water. And you can see as you drag the red into the yellow, it's creating orange. So I can see that yellow and red makes orange. In my next bottle, I'm going to mix the primary color red and the primary color blue to make the secondary color purple. I'm going to start with my red marker. You could start with your blue, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to color in the bottom half of my beaker. Going halfway to where my oval stops. And the other half to where my water or my oval stops, I'm going to color in blue. I don't want to go above here because my water stops right here. So it depends, how far up you go depends on where you put that oval or that water line. Okay. Now that I have my red and my blue, I'm going to take my paintbrush, I'm going to get some water on it, and I'm going to drag the blue into the red. So this area right here where the two colors meet, I'm just going to kind of swirl them together. And you can see that they're mixing and they're making violet or purple. Okay, we can see that red and blue makes violet or purple. In our last bottle, we're going to mix the primary color blue and the primary color yellow to make the secondary color green. I'm going to start with my yellow marker. And I'm going to start at the bottom of my bottle or my beaker. And I'm going to color halfway up to my water line. Or about halfway. It doesn't have to be perfect, but. Then I'm going to take my blue marker. I'm going to start at the water line, or that oval. I'm going to come down to my yellow, and then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to take my paintbrush, I'm going to dip it in some water, and where these two colors meet, I'm going to swirl my paintbrush around, or drag the blue into the yellow. And you can see that where these two colors meet, they're making the secondary color green. So now I can see that yellow and blue makes green.